focus today on the wisdom of physical existence. Because we are alive, we all share chemistry and continuity with other animals, as well as vegetables and minerals, and especially with each other. In that recognition, we honor both the land that sustains us and all the people who preceded us here for thousands of years, and whose descendants are now members of our Alberta family. These are the people of the Blackfoot Confederacy, who include the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, along with the Dene First Nation Band, the Tsuut'ina, and the 3 bands of the Stoney Nakoda First Nation, the Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney, as well as the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. Treaty 7 unites us all in collaboration and peace. And now we turn from recognizing the land and history that sustain us to another source of sustenance, the stewardship campaign. Yes.
I'm Lisa Gasson-Gardner, she, her. I've been around Unitarians for a long time. I went to divinity school with one of the people we're watching a video of, but it was when I moved here a year ago. No family, didn't know any friends here, that I was like, how am I gonna find people who share my values? Who I can trust my kids with? And so I was like, let's find the Unitarians. And so we started coming here, hoping that we would find some community, and we have. We've found friendships for my children and for us that have, when we were like, we don't have anyone to be with at Christmas, where folks were willing to take us in. And we have, so we found community, and we've found a lot of meaning in the children's programs that we have here. My children are learning values. They are surrounded by a diverse bunch of teachers. They are building friendships, they're practicing community. It's very meaningful to us. And so we are brand new in the pledge arena, but we want to sustain the community that has made moving to Calgary a little bit easier, right? Has made it a little bit easier, has helped us land and find a place to be. So thank you.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street without enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul.
They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got
If you want to have the world a better place, take a look at yourself. My name is Christopher Feets, and when speaking to myself in the third person, I use he and him and his. Our chalice lighting this morning comes from Reverend Sean Barron, or that's Sean Neil Barron. Some of you may remember him as a youth here in this congregation. The reading is entitled, Your Body is Welcome Here. Your body is welcome here, all of it. Yes, even that part, and yes, even that part. The parts you love, and the parts you don't. For in this place, we come with all that we are, all that we have been, and that all we are going to be. Our bodies are constantly changing. Cells die, and cells are reborn. We respond to infections and disease. Sometimes we can divorce them from our bodies, and other times they become a permanent part of us. Your body and all that is within it, both wanted and not wanted, has a place here. Our bodies join in a web of co-creation, creating, constantly changing us, scarred and tattooed, tense and relaxed, diseased and cured, unfamiliar and intimate, formed in infinite diversity of creation. Your body is welcome here, all of it. So take a moment and welcome it. Take a moment to feel in it. Take a moment to be in it.
If we could have the words on the slide, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. One more time. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Group 1. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Group 2. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Group 3. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Group 4. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit draw near.
Whew, that song kind of gives me chills, hey? It's lovely. I'm Sheila McMaster, Director of Religious Education, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. Like when Chris says, I'm referring to myself in the third person. Which happens some mornings, like today, when it is daylight savings, which, I don't know about you guys, but I'm missing an hour of sleep. So welcome everyone who made it here. There is coffee at the end that we can all have. So today we're talking about the wisdom of our bodies. And so the children and youth are going to be playing some interactive games to kind of get what it's like to be in your body. And for all of you, I have a great story about being in your bodies. That's right. Before I get started, I do have a joke about bodies. Why didn't the skeleton go to the ball? Brett knows this because he's got no body to dance with. And so today's story is called The Couch Potato by John Jory. And maybe some of you will relate to this. I know I relate to this story. I am a potato, not a small potato like my brother, not a sweet potato like my mother, and not a mashed potato like my Uncle Stu. I am a couch potato. Oh yeah, it's true. My favorite place to slouch is on the couch. And I spend all my free time sitting in this exact spot. Why would I ever leave my comfy, cozy couch? It's got everything a potato could need. See, I have this, and this, and this, and one of these, and one of those, and this, and that, and these, and oh, this. Check it out. This button activates a gadget that fetches me snacks whenever I want. Bam! Impressed? I don't have to move an inch. Much easier than going to the kitchen. And if the most important thing in life is to be comfortable at all times, then I think I got it figured out. But wait, there's more. I haven't revealed the absolute best part about this whole setup. It's everything you see in front of me. Have a look around. Take it in. Pretty spectacular, right? Yes, it's a sea of shimmering screens, from wall to shining wall. What joy, what bliss. And these screens feature my favorite shows. This screen has all my unanswered messages, and these screens are where I play video games. And this screen is a live stream of my friend, my best bud for life. And this is how my pals and I spend quality time together. It's much easier than trying to meet up somewhere where folks did in the olden days. That's for sure. Hey, buddy. Hey, Paltato. Yes. From this very couch, I can control everything in my life at all times with just a tap and a couple clicks. Not bad, eh? Yes, sirree, this is the life. At least that's what I thought. Until the other day. Something strange happened. There was a knock on the door. It was a delivery. It was my newest device, a video camera that would allow me to watch myself react while I was watching all my favorite shows. All I had to do was plug it into my room, nay, my kingdom, and would be complete. But suddenly, pew! Everything went dark. Look out! Coming through! Whoops! Ow! Ooh, whump! I made it to the window. I pulled back the curtains. The sun seemed brighter than I remembered. There's nothing better to do, so I decided to take my dog, Tater, out for a walk. Outside. It had been a while. Everything was so vivid, like a high-resolution 156-inch curved screen, but even more realistic. And something smelled fresh. After a few moments, I realized it was the air. I heard a noise, some chirps, a ringtone, maybe? But no, I looked up to see some birds. And eventually, I found a park with a hill, and there was a massive tree on top. And it looked like a desktop background. Only it was real. And I leaned against the tree, and it wasn't as comfortable as my couch, but not even close. But after a while, it wasn't so bad. And any worries about the power outage and what I might be missing drifted away. And I wasn't even thinking about my favorite shows or my unanswered messages or anything else, really. I noticed the stillness and the view and the sky and the clouds and the sunset and those colors. My goodness, it took a while because there was no fast forward option. But eventually, the sun sank below the horizon, And by the time I got home, the power was back on. And I sat on the couch and I hit the button to brush my teeth, and I pulled the lever to change into my pajamas, and I turned the knob to watch a bedtime story. And then I noticed my reflection in one of the screens, and I wondered how much of my life had been spent in that very spot. It was then and there that I made the decision to peel myself off the couch a bit more often, maybe every day even. And so that's what I've done. I've started hanging out with my friends, my best buddies, outside. And we've started biking and hiking and swimming and hide and seeking. And sometimes we have snacks and play board games. And sometimes we talk all day, and we might watch the clouds. There's no big plan. We just see what happens. And it makes me wonder, what if I don't always need to be totally comfortable? What if I'm happier when I have a balance between my gadgets and the world outside? Because it turns out I'm more than just a couch potato. I'm an amusing potato. I'm a smart potato. I'm a kind potato, and I'm an entertaining potato. And I'm a sit on the hill and watch the sunset potato. Yes, there's a great big world out there, and all I want is to be part of it, in person. But don't get me wrong, at the end of a day, after I've run and played and talked and laughed with my friends, I still think it's awfully nice to slouch on the couch. The end. And so this week's challenge is to just get up and move. Dance a little when you're making dinner, Say yes to meeting that friend and going out for coffee. As Naira Wahid said, I said softly to my body, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this. And so please join me as we sing the flame of our light downstairs to our children and youth.
Circles of love, dance all around you. Circles of love, peace and joy. Circles of love, dance all around you. Circles of love, peace and joy.
It is one of the many ways in which we attend to our community. We are grateful for your presence and the many ways you do give. This month, our For Others organization that we're supporting is Skipping Stone. They are an organization whose vision is to bring to life a province where trans and gender diverse people are surrounded by positivity, affirmation, and support free from barriers, stigma, and discrimination. They do this by providing one-on-one support, mental health programs, assistance in navigating the various healthcare systems, as well as community programs. If this is where you'd like to direct your offering, please indicate in the For Others message with your e-transfer or in the offering envelope. After the basket passes you by, please feel free to come forward and light a candle on either side of our hall, or drop a pebble into our communal water bowl. You do this in acknowledgement of whatever is resting on your heart this morning. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of the congregation. May we give in love and in hope.
To be a human alive in this world means to navigate a complex dance of emotions, experiences, and all that lies in between. As we move through life, joy and sorrow blend and intertwine, allowing us to create a deeper understanding of our experiences. We need community to hold these complex emotions, to witness them, to find balance. So today, we light a candle for the joys that weave their quiet way into everyday actions and experiences. We also light a candle to acknowledge the sorrows that thread their way with needles into our lives. Our global candle of concern today is lit in recognition of Women's Day just last Friday. The global crises we are facing are hitting women and girls the hardest. From poverty and hunger to climate disasters, wars, terror, and denial of human rights, we light this candle for them.
Return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are. Return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are. Return to where you are, born and reborn again. This half, return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. This half. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn.
So this morning we're talking about the wisdom of our bodies and what that can teach us in times of change. So before we get more deeply into that, let's just take a moment to connect with our bodies. Say hello and find out what's going on inside there. So for this practice, I'll just invite you to move your body into a position that is comfortable for you. If that's standing, stand. If it's sitting, sit. If you want to lie on the floor or sit on the floor, please make yourself feel comfy. If you're joining us online, you can turn your camera off if you wish. If you have cushions or blankets nearby, please feel to use them. And if there are any kids joining, if you have a stuffy you want to snuggle up with that makes you feel comfy, please do that. So I'll invite you now to close your eyes. And if it's more comfortable for you, you can lower your gaze, stare at your knees or the chalice flame. Something similar in your space if you like a visual focus. And just notice your breath. Don't try to change it in any way, just notice it. And while you're doing that, I'll offer a few prompts. You're welcome to use them or disregard as you see fit, but see if you can identify where in your body you feel a sensation the most strongly. Maybe on your lips or on your nose. It might be the rise and fall of your belly or the expansion of your lungs and your chest. You might put your hand in front of your face and focus on the feeling of breath on your hand or the sound of your breath. You can put your hand on your chest or on your belly, focusing on the feeling of the rise and fall. And if you're lying down, you could place an object on your belly and watch it go up and down. If you have your own mindful breathing practice, feel free to use that. And if none of these practices work for you, feel free to look at the chalice flame or another object in your space. Whichever place you pick is your breath or visual anchor. And whatever place you've chosen, let your awareness rest there for a moment. Feel your breath move in and out. Body expand and contract. Now I'll invite you to bring your intention to your feet. Just notice your feet. And as you inhale, curl your toes and tighten all the muscles in your feet. And as you exhale, release and relax your feet. Now notice your feet again. On your next inhalation, draw your toes towards your face, push out through your heels, tighten your calves. And as you exhale, release and relax your calves. Noticing. You might straighten out your legs to tighten your quads and your sit bones. And as you exhale, release and relax. On your next inhalation, tighten your abs. And as you exhale, release and relax the space in your belly. On your next inhalation, you can tighten your fists, straighten your arms, tightening your arms as much as you can. And as you exhale, release and relax. And on your next inhalation, you might furrow your brow, scrunch your nose, grind your jaw. And as you exhale, release and relax your face. Notice your body. Notice what sensations are happening there. We all have very different bodies and very different experiences with our bodies. Some sensations you find might be very subtle or very loud. They might be pleasant or uncomfortable. They might provoke an emotional response or bring up a memory, or they might be numb or be hard to, or even impossible to connect with. Whatever is happening is okay. If there's a space in this moment that is uncomfortable, feel free to return to your breath or your other visual anchor or another part of your body that feels more neutral. Bring your consciousness into the room. You can very gently open your eyes. Thanks for engaging this practice with me. And now you can rise with your spirit or your body, and we'll sing Loosen. The lyrics will be on the screen. You can feel free to move, stretch, shake out your body, whatever feels good as we sing.
Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? This side. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Going on this side now. Loosen, holy breath and holy name. Will you ease this pain? Oh, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Last time. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain?
You're all sounding so beautiful this morning. So as Marcia said, this is part of our series, Meaning Making in Liminal Times. This is a reflection that's been prepared by Erin, and I'm going to deliver it for you or read it to you. So you might be wondering why we're focusing on the body as a source of wisdom. In the book, The Body is Not an Apology, The Power of Radical Self-Love, Sonia Renee Taylor states, humans are a varied and divergent bunch with all manner of beliefs, morals, values, and ideals. We have struggled to find agreement on much of anything over the centuries. Just think about how long we argued about gravity and whether the world is shaped like a pizza. We're not making that argument anymore. But here is a completely non-controversial statement I think we have consensus around. You, my dear, have a body, and should you desire to remain on this spinning rock hurtling through space, you'll need a body to do it. Everything else we think is up for debate. Are we spiritual beings? It depends on whom you ask. Do humans have souls? We've been fighting about that since Aristotle likened souls to fetuses to those of vegetables. But bodies, yep, we got those. And given this widely agreed upon reality, it seems to me, if ever there was a place the practice of radical love could be a transformative force, the body ought to be that location. Humans are really varied and divergent in terms of our bodies and our relationships to them. Some of us have pretty easy relationships with our bodies. They look more or less how our culture has defined they should look, and they do more or less what we want them to do, at least most of the time. Others have a much more complex relationship with their bodies. We may have been taught to judge or hate them, depending on how far they deviate from our cultural ideals. Or they might be the site of pain or limitations that create difficulties in a world not set up for them. Some of us live largely in our heads and ignore our bodies as much as possible. For some, especially those who've experienced trauma, talking about our bodies, never mind trying to mindfully inhabit them, can be triggering and painful. So let's take a moment and breathe. In fact, if you will, take 3 deep breaths with me with a really audible sigh. That's very nice. Breathing is one way that we can ground ourselves. If we begin to feel constricted or overwhelmed, I encourage you to take a few breaths anytime as you'd like as we go through the rest of the service. I guarantee you'll need to. Our bodies are where we live and what moves us through the world. They're also the sites of where oppression are enacted. Racism, sexism, ageism, ableism, homophobia, transphobia, fat phobia, and so on. They're all directed and felt in our bodies. Sonia Renee Taylor reminds us, when we're talking about violence, poverty, and injustice, we're talking about things that happen in our body. Injustice is an opaque word until we are willing to discuss its material reality, she states. In discussing how we've not been able to overcome oppression, Resmaa Menakem, trauma therapist and writer of My Grandmother's Hands, Racialized Trauma and the Pathway to Mending Our Hearts and Bodies, says, it's not that we've been lazy or insincere, but we've focused our efforts on the wrong direction. We've tried to teach our brains to think better about race, but white body supremacy doesn't live in our thinking brains. It lives and breathes in our bodies. Our bodies have a form of knowledge that is different from our cognitive brains. This knowledge is typically experienced as a felt sense of constriction or expansion, pain or ease, energy or numbness. Often this knowledge is stored in our bodies as wordless stories about what is safe and what is dangerous. The body is where we fear, hope, and react. Where it is, if we are to append the status quo of white body supremacy, we must begin with our bodies. So Menakem draws on research that is proving we heal primarily in and through the body, not just through our minds and creating experiences that provide opportunities for growth and soothe our nervous systems is done primarily through the body. He adds, people in therapy can have insights galore, but may stay stuck in habitual pain, harmful trauma patterns, and automatic reactions to real or perceived threats. This is because trauma is embedded in their bodies, not their cognitive brains. That trauma then becomes the unconscious lens through which they view all of their current experiences. I know this was certainly the case for me when I started to go to therapy. I wondered if there was something wrong with me or what I was doing wrong that was keeping me stuck, rather than realizing that after a certain point I needed a different approach. Mr. van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, an early pioneer in trauma studies, also has a body-based understanding of trauma. He contends understanding trauma through a brain disease model is limiting both conceptually and in the ability for people to participate meaningfully in their own healing. In particular, humans need to find a sense of common meaning. We need to regulate our physiology through breathing, moving, and touching, and to create relationships, communities, and environments where we can thrive, that can allow us to heal from trauma and restore autonomy. Most faith communities live in line with these goals, at least in theory, even if they haven't given a second thought to trauma specifically. If we were to genuinely create this kind of environment, it would create a rich and vibrant faith community. And van der Kolk explains that in the vagus nerve, the main communication system between the brain and the body, 80% of fibers go from the body to the brain. That means that we can directly train our arousal system by the way we breathe, chant, and move, a principle that has been utilized since time immemorial in every religious practice that I know of. Van der Kolk also adds that traumatized human beings recover in the context of relationships, and that the ability to feel safe is the single most important aspect of mental health. He expands the critical issue of reciprocity, being truly heard and seen by the people around us, feeling that we are held in someone else's mind and heart. For our physiology to calm down, heal, and grow, we need a visceral feeling of safety, being a space where people are seen and heard is another strength of many UU communities. By building healthier relationships with our bodies, whatever it looks like, however it moves through the world, and however much we wish to change it in the future, can not only help us with our own growth and healing, but also enacting the work of justice in our communities. We are in a key position to create trauma-informed and healing spiritual communities using our ritual and practices with some deliberation and mindfulness. And if there's anything we need in this world right now, I believe it is healthy and healing spiritual communities.
All right, here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. put one foot in front of the other, and I lead with love. I know you're scared, and I'm scared too, but here I am, right next to you. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love.
Our closing words and the chalice extinguishing are from Gwen Matthews, entitled, Feel That. Feel that? Each breath, every inhale, exhale, we are living, breathing, connected. We are the whole, complete, beautiful selves that we were born to be. Feel that? In your bones, in your muscles, in your heart and your blood. That is the extraordinary you. The you who was born for this time, this place, this moment. Feel that? The struggle, the worry, the pain, the loss, the grief. It is still you. You are still whole, complete, beautiful, extraordinary.